At the Last Supper, in an upper room in Jerusalem, Jesus said something to his disciples that should have been impossible. Most of us read it quickly in English. I no longer call you servants. I have called you friends. And we think it's sweet. Jesus is being nice. But here's what gets lost in translation. Jesus didn't speak English. He spoke Aramaic. And the Aramaic word he used wasn't just friend. It was a legal term that transferred authority. If you've ever felt like you're just a servant doing tasks, if you feel distant from God, if you think you have to earn access, I'm going to show you the actual Aramaic word Jesus spoke, what it meant in first century culture, and why it gives you rights the enemy doesn't want you to know about. The Gospel of John records Jesus' words in Greek as philos, friend. But Jesus didn't speak Greek in that room, he spoke Aramaic. And the Aramaic word he used was Chaver. In Aramaic culture, Chaver didn't just mean someone you liked. It was a covenant term. It meant equal partner, co-heir, someone who shares in your resources, your authority, your reputation. In ancient Middle Eastern culture, when a king called someone Chaver, he was granting them access, not just to his presence, but to his treasury, his decisions, his plans. It meant you don't have to ask permission anymore. What's mine is yours. When Jesus called his disciples Chaver, he wasn't being sentimental. He was issuing a legal transfer of authority. Think about that moment. Hours before the cross, he's about to die, and he stops and says, I don't call you servants anymore. You're Chaver now. In that moment, he's saying, you're not staff, you're family. You don't serve from a distance, you sit at my table. My Father's resources are now your resources. John 15:15. I no longer call you servants, because a servant does not know his master's business. Instead, I have called you friends, for everything that I learned from my Father I have made known to you. Made known in Greek is norizo, to fully disclose, to give insider information. Jesus isn't keeping secrets, he's making you an insider. A Chaver has access to the king's plans. Here's why the Aramaic matters. Chaver isn't about casual friendship, it's about shared authority. You don't ask the king for help, you access what he's already given you. You don't beg, you withdraw from the account he opened in your name. When Jesus called you Chaver, he declared, you're not an employee, you're a partner. Everything I have access to, you have access to. Early Christians understood this. They didn't pray like servants begging for scraps. They prayed like Chaverim, plural, partners enforcing what the king had already decreed. James 2:23, Abraham believed God, and he was called God's friend, Chaver. Friend in Hebrew is ohev, but in legal texts it's Chaver, covenant partner. Abraham didn't serve God from a distance. He walked with God, talked with God, negotiated with God. That's Chaver. Say this right now. I am Chaver. I am a friend of the king. I have full access to his presence, his power, his resources. Shame has no authority. In Jesus' name, feel the relationship shift. You're not a servant waiting for orders. You're a partner executing the plan. If this just changed your identity, let others know I am Chaver in the comments right now. Not for the algorithm, for your freedom. You are not a servant, you are Chaver, a partner with the king. Subscribe and join us. This is the King's Ministries, and we are taking back ground.